Welcome back. Very good morning to one and all. Yes, you all know that we are dealing the concepts of current electricity, and the last topic that we were discussing it is all about a cell, its EMF and the internal resistance offered by a cell. Of course, usually we suppose an ideal cell which offers zero internal resistance, but once it is offering some internal resistance, then the potential difference across the terminals of the cell will be less than EMF of the cell. So there is a slight layer of difference between the two terms like potential difference and EMF. Whereas the potential difference can be defined between any 2 points, not only across the terminals of the cell. Between any 2 points in the electric field, even we can define potential difference. But EMF will be defined only for a cell, EMF of a cell, but not defined between any 2 points. Remember that. So anyway, after dealing with the concepts of internal resistance, EMF of a cell, now here a little bit recollection on the concepts of Kirchhoff laws in current electricity. Yes, of course, you have learned this concept. This is nothing new to you because you have got explanation for Kirchhoff laws in electrostatics. Yes, Kirchhoff laws are of two types. One is junction law. The other one it is loop law. These two you have learned in the earlier class. Yes, in electrostatics, it's a junction law of charge and a loop law of voltages. But in current electricity, it is a junction law of currents, and here it is a loop law of voltage. Of course, loop law is also known as KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law. And junction law is also known as KJL, Kirchhoff junction law. So when it comes to the explanation, it's very well known in electrostatics. The total amount of charge that is moving towards a junction will be equal to the total amount of charge that is leaving a junction. Of course, the algebraic sum of all the charges meeting at a junction is zero. Similarly, here junction law of current can be explained in this way. Here, suppose for example, there is a junction point which is P, and here there is a current I1 and I2, and here it is I3, here it is I4. If you are going to look at this explanation, the currents that are moving towards a junction is I1 and I2. So the total current moving towards a junction is I1 plus I2 will be equal to the total current leaving the junction, which is I3 plus I4. This is junction law of current according to Kirchhoff. But at the same time, you know the algebraic sum of all the currents meeting at a junction will be zero. For example, I1, I2 are moving towards the junction. If you have assigned plus I1 plus I2 because they are moving towards the junction, but I3, I4 are moving away from the junction, so we can write them as minus I3 minus I4. Don't think that electric current is a vector physical quantity, it is a scalar physical quantity. But the currents that are moving towards the junction are given positive side, so that the currents that are moving away from the junction will take the negative sign obviously. It's just an indication for the currents that are moving towards the junction and away from the junction. Now, the algebraic sum of all the currents that are meeting at a junction, I3 is going away from the junction, minus I3 is meeting at the junction, I4 going away from the junction, minus I4 meeting at the junction. The algebraic sum of all the currents meeting at a junction will be equal to 0. This is junction law of currents. Hope it's a very expected one to you, nothing new. And at the same time, here Kirchhoff voltage law or loop law is the same that as in electrostatics. You know, in a closed circuit, in a closed loop, in the sense, it's a closed circuit. In a closed circuit, when you are finding two or more potential differences, the algebraic sum of all the potential differences in a closed circuit will be 0. But while taking the algebraic sum, while moving in the closed loop, if you have found there is a fallen potential, that potential difference should be assigned negative sign. If there is a rise in potential, then the potential difference should be assigned positive sign. You have learnt this. So that the algebraic sum of all the potential differences in a closed circuit will be 0. Let me give you a little more clarity. Once look at this here. To explain KVL, I am giving a small example first of all. Here there is a cell whose voltage is V1. Of course, when I mentioned like that, don't ask me that, sir, is it EMF or potential difference? As I have mentioned like that, no internal resistance is taken into account. So potential difference across the terminals of the cell is equal to its EMF itself. Of course, if you wish to mention, you can mention E1 also as EMF. There is no problem. Now here, this is connected to a resistor R1. Once look at this properly. Here there is another resistor R2. And here there is another cell whose EMF is E2. There is another cell whose EMF is E2. And here there is another resistor R3. Let me name it as A, B, C, D, E, F. So this is your closed electric circuit where you are finding 3 resistors and 2 cells whose EMFs are E1 and E2. How many closed loops are finding? It's nothing new to you. You know very well loop law in electrostatics. How many closed loops? Yes, you can find 3 closed loops. A, B, C, F. C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F, A. 3 closed loops. So when 3 closed loops are there, you can write 3 mathematical equations according to Kirchhoff voltage law or loop law of voltages. There is no doubt in that. But at the same time, we should be familiar with the junction law of currents while going to apply Kirchhoff voltage law. Because the reason it is, you see, here for example, you are going to suppose there is some I1 current drawn in this path. There is some I1 current drawn in this path through R1. But when it comes to this junction, yes, obviously, you can expect the current is going to divide. In what way? For example, if I2 is the current passing through R2, if I2 is the current passing through R2, listen carefully, then this will be I2 minus I1. I1 minus I2, because when I1 current is drawn from this, in this way, I1 current is traveling through this path. So at this point, it finds a division because of the junction. So in this path, there is I2 traveling. In this path, there is I1 minus I2 is traveling. In this way, I1 minus I2. In this way, I1 minus I2. Junction law of currents. I1 equal to I2 plus I3. But this is I2, but this should be I1 minus I2. Of course, if you want, you can suppose I3. There is no issue. But to reduce the number of variables in mathematical equations, we don't go for I3. We write it as I1 minus I2 for the convenience. If you wish, you write it as I3. There is no problem. But when they are going to join at the junction C, this I2 and this I1 minus I2 are going to join. Again, it will come out as I1. This is how junction law can be applied in this. Let me suppose I1 is the current passing through this path then certainly at this junction, we can expect a division as I2 and I3. Of course, I2 plus I3 must be equal to I1. Don't forget that. And at the same time, this I3 is coming like this and is joining here and will come out as I1. So from this, what you need to understand, this is very important. You see, here in this closed electric circuit, you can find different electric currents that are passing through different resistors. So you can have potential difference across every resistor. Now you take any one closed loop. For example, A, B, C, F is a closed loop. A, B, C, F. Of course, if you want A, B, C, F, A is a closed loop. Then you start at A. Your closed loop is A, B, C, F, A. Now you see, while you are moving from A to B, there is no potential drop, because the reason it is there is no resistor or circuit element. So no potential drop while going from A to B. But while going from B to C, you are moving from positive to negative terminal of the cell. So there is a potential drop. That's why it is minus E1. Next, like this you are moving A, B, C over. Now C to F. While moving C to F, you have a resistor R2 through which current is I2. Then potential will be I2 R2 across the resistor. But remember, while moving in the closed path from C to F, you are moving against the current. Against the current flow. You know, current flows from high potential to low potential anywhere. But while moving from C to F, your path is against the direction of current, means it is low potential to high potential you are moving, because conventional direction of current is high potential to low potential. But you are moving from C to F, means low to high. Have you got clarity? Low to high, so potential rise, that's a plus. Now here, F to A. While moving from F to A, again you are moving against the direction of current, so that you are moving from, current flows from high potential to low potential. But you are moving against, means low to high. So again potential rise, that is plus I1 R1. Now this algebraic sum is equal to 0. So the algebraic sum of all the potential differences in a closed loop is 0. That is Kirchhoff voltage. Yes, let me explain one more. Just like a C, D, E, F, C. You can understand with more examples. C, D, E, F, C. So while moving from C to D, there is no potential drop, because no circuit element, no resistor. But D to E, you are moving across the cell positive to negative. That means potential drop. So it is minus E2. Next, E to F. You are moving against current. Current flows from high to low, but you are moving against current. Low to high means potential rise. How much rise? I3 R3, because potential drop across R3 is I3 R3. Of course, I3 means I1 minus I2, no doubt. Next, F to C, because C, D, E, F, C. So while moving from F to C, you are moving in the direction of current, high potential to low potential. So potential drop, it is minus I2 R2. Now their algebraic sum is 0. So that you can write a mathematical equation for A, B, C, D, E, F, A. If you wish, you try to write the KVL equation. So this is how Kirchhoff voltage law helps us to write some mathematical equations connecting with the current and resistance in the electric circuit, so that we come to know the potential difference across any resistor, the current passing through any resistor, like that many more points that can be calculated while doing numerical applications. So KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law, states that the algebraic sum of potential drops in a closed circuit will be 0. But while moving in the closed circuit, if we are moving in the direction of electric current, which flows from high potential to low potential, then there will be potential drop. If you are moving against current flow, low potential to high potential, that means potential rise. When there is a potential drop, it is minus. When there is a potential rise, it is plus. This is how algebraic sum of all the potential differences in a closed loop can be taken. So here, just a few more simple examples to understand the concepts of Kirchhoff laws. Still, if you have any doubts, the things gets clarified. Once you look at this electric circuit, there is a cell of EMF E, and there are three resistors in the electric circuit, R1, R2, R3. Now just suppose there is a current of I amperes that is drawn from the cell, I current. This current will travel through R1. Same current will travel through R2. The same current will travel through R3, because there is no possibility for the division of current. But if you have seen this example, there are four resistors in our electric circuit with a cell of EMF E. Now let us suppose that some I current is drawn from the cell. You know, the direction of conventional current is away from positive terminal. So this I current is traveling through this R1, I current is traveling, but this I current will find a junction at this point. So it finds a division. So that here I2 current will travel through this, here I3 will travel through this. Of course, I2 plus I3 must be equal to I. Here as I have not taken I1, if I wish I can take I1 here. So I1 divides as I2, I3. Instead of I, just I have taken I1. So in that way, I1 equal to I2 plus I3. This I3 will travel through R4 also, the same current will travel I3, but I2, I3 will join here and will come out as I1. So in this way, there will be a current division. So here there is a possibility to learn junction law of currents also. Anyway, in both the cases, we have studied junction law of current. Here no possibility for junction law of current to explain, but here there is a possibility as current finds a junction. Now Kirchhoff voltage law, KVL, how to write? In a closed loop, what is your closed loop? Yes, here it is. A, B, C, D, A is your closed loop. In this closed loop, the algebraic sum of all the potential differences will be 0. Suppose for example, your closed loop is A, B, C, D, A. So where you are going to start and in what way you are going to move is very important. You are going to start at A. You are moving along AB, you are moving in this way, A, B, C, D, A. So while moving from A to B, you are moving in the direction of current. In the direction of current. Current flows from high potential to low potential. Means while moving from A to B, there is a potential drop. How much potential drop? As I current is traveling through the resistor R1, potential drop is IR1. There is a potential drop, that's why minus. Next, B to C. You are moving from B to C in the closed loop. That is the direction of current, which is from high potential to low potential. So again potential drop. How much potential drop? I1 current passing through R2. So potential drop is I1 R2. Again minus. So in the closed loop you are moving from C to D. C to D, the direction of current, high potential to low potential. So again potential drop from C to D. So that again minus I1 R3 because V equal to IR. Now you are moving from D to A because your closed loop is A, B, C, D, A. So while moving from D to A, you are coming from negative terminal of the cell to the positive terminal of the cell. Means there is a potential rise. That's why plus E1. The algebraic sum of all these potential differences will be equal to 0. This is the Kirchhoff voltage law. This is Kirchhoff voltage law in the case of first example. Similarly, if you have come to second example, how many KVL, how many equations you can write? 3 equations because there are 3 closed loops. So if you are going to give the name to this A, B, C, D, E, F. For example, if your closed loop is A, B, C, D, E, F, A, you take the bigger one. Earlier I have explained for smaller ones. Let me explain for A, B, C, D, E, F, A. In this closed loop, while moving from A to B, is there any potential drop? No, because there is no electrical element from A to B, like a resistor or capacitor, nothing is there. So A to B, there is no potential drop. But B to C, there will be potential drop. Sir, how can you say there is a potential drop? Because B to C is the direction of current, which is from high potential to low potential. So potential drop. How much potential drop? I1 current through R1. So potential drop is I1 R1. As it is a drop, minus should be given. A, B, C, D. While moving from C to D, again there is a potential drop, direction of current. How much? I3 R3. Again should be given minus because there is a drop, potential drop. D to E, no potential drop because there is no resistor. Now E to F, again potential drop because of direction of current I am going. If I am moving in opposite, then certainly there is a potential rise. But I have taken in such a way, so my path is from high potential to low potential, direction of current from E to F. So potential drop, how much? I3 R4. I3 current through R4 resistor. So drop, minus I3 R4. F to A, while moving from F to A, because my closed loop A, B, C, D, E, F, A. So F to A, minus to plus. So potential rise. So E potential rise. Here also it is U only, not E1, it is U only. So the algebraic sum of all these potential drops in a closed circuit will be equal to 0. This is KVL. Still you can write two more KVL equations. A, B, C, F, A. C, D, E, F, C. Earlier I have told you already in the last example. This time I have told you for the bigger loop. So this is how you can handle Kirchhoff junction law of currents and Kirchhoff voltage law equations, which you need to practice to come across some numerical application part in current electricity. So just to give you more clarity and at the same time for my satisfaction, even I have given little more examples to understand junction law of currents and Kirchhoff voltage law. Fine? Not